And welcome back to Contemporary Black Voices, where today's topic is about California possibly becoming the first state to offer undocumented migrants state-approved funding to buy homes. So the overarching question is, when is enough enough? But I do have a question I want to ask my panelists. How does this initiative align with the federal immigration policies? So is this policy that California is trying to initiate, will it violate federal immigration policies? Or do we have an federal immigration policy?
That's my question. Do we have a federal immigration policy? So, but no, it doesn't. So, they're according to federal policy, immigrants aren't participants in federal housing programs, and they don't benefit from federal housing programs. Kamala Harris has came out in support of a 20% grant for housing, to make housing more accessible, more affordable. But her support and her proposal does not include undocumented immigrants in her proposal.
Okay.
So she is for it, but she's for it for
citizens.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Well, we're talking about undocumented
Mm-hmm.
immigrants,
Right.
so that's not even on the same playing field. So is there a policy? Maybe not.
And then if you think about it also, where is California factoring in this money into their budget to support undocumented workers like this? And again, going back to our earlier segment, why don't they take that money and roll it into how to improve the housing for the unhoused people?
Or education.
But really, the unhoused situation, which we're seeing advertised, shown a lot on TV, that they've got one of the worst homeless situations in the country.
And I can't understand that when California has a mental health department that focuses on mental health, but are they really focused on mental health? If there's a true crisis, look at Skid Row. The number of individuals on Skid Row grow by the day. So at this point, it's concerning.
Yeah, California is one of the wealthiest states, the wealthiest state in the country. And so, as a matter of fact, if California was its own country, it would be what, number 5 or 6 or something. But it just seems to me that the resources that they're allocating their resources in the wrong places. They rather sweep the homeless off the streets, hide them, instead of actually solving the issue. You know what I mean? And so California does have a housing crisis as well. But there's plenty of land inland, you know what I mean? And so everybody in California doesn't have to live on the coast, you know what I mean? So that's a problem too, you know what I mean? There's plenty of land inland, you know what I mean? So California, there are solutions to their problems, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, this one, my question also is, even if they are documented but not American citizens, should they have access to these kind of programs? You know what I mean? Because again, what's the incentive to get these people to move towards
citizenship?
Right. So even if they're documented but not citizens, and they're still getting the benefits of Social Security, Medicare, housing, food stamps, all the government programs, you know what I mean? And so I just think that those programs should be reserved for American citizens.
Or maybe the real focus should be auditing those who are in control of the distribution of the funds.
Well, that's another question here. What are the implications of misuse of the distribution of those funds?
Yeah.
And again, if it's part of an amended program to where everybody has access to this 20% and up to $150,000, then who are going to be the gatekeepers?
Right.
And we already know that when Black folks are involved, all of a sudden they can't do this, they can't do that, you know. So I see where there's going to be a situation. This is a situation that's going to create more problems.
And you know, bringing it up, and I'm going to play the devil's advocate for a minute. So, one, the Republicans often accuse the Democrats of playing politics with immigration, and so one, this is a prime example. The people who are gatekeepers, the people who are pushing this kind of initiative, you know, in a Democratic state like California, you know, what I'm saying, the Republicans are well, you're trying to transform these people, give them housing, you're trying to bring in, you know, bring in a Democratic constituency. You know what I mean? So that's one point, you know, that I want to make. So are the people who are in charge of these programs, the gatekeepers, who for the most part in California are going to be Latinos, and are for the most part going to be Democrats. You know what I mean? You can see the Republicans' accusation that, hey, you know what, you're trying to make these people Democrats so they can vote for you. The other thing is, Latinos like to say, well, we're not a monolithic community, right? But it's hard to tell because a lot of your programs are geared toward Hispanics, you know what I mean? And so when you start implementing all these programs and making all these programs beneficial to immigrants who are coming in from Latin America, you sure seem like a monolithic community.
Well, you got to look at here in San Antonio, city of San Antonio. For a black person, it's hard for to get a job with the city.
Everything.
And if you look at the job application, the requirements are what? Bilingual.
Yes.
You speak Spanish?
Or depending if it's in Houston, in Chinatown, you got to speak Mandarin, Chinese, or whatever. So, but when it deals with black folks, it doesn't matter whether we can speak proper English. It doesn't matter if we can speak, Pig Latin or whatever. There's always a criteria somewhere deep in there to where we don't qualify.
Or even here in this city, the jobs that people have access to, the people, this city is a wholly dominated Latino city, and so that's the truth of the matter. And so, black folks are going to be the first to get let go. When there's an opportunity for promotion, it's going to go towards Latinos. They're going to be the first to know of a new opportunity. They're going to be the first promoted into that new opportunity. And again, the first people that's going to be let go are black folks. And so it's just, the same problem here. You claim to not be a monolithic community, but it sure looks that way. You know what I mean? You guys march lock, stock, and barrel. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, again, it's hey, you know what? I can't knock them. I can't blame them. I envy them because I wish we had that kind of unity, and I wish we had that kind of power. You know what I mean? But no, it's just those 2 points. So you know what I mean? One, the Republicans are going to accuse them, and two, this idea that we're not a monolithic community. They need to stop that fallacy.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say on this?
No.
Well, when I saw it, my general reaction was, what? You kidding me? And I feel that I'm pretty open-minded to a lot of stuff, but I also look at the reality of what things are. Coming from a military family and seeing a lot of veterans on the street, what's being done to get these veterans off the street, especially since they've got benefits? Especially since a lot of them have benefits that are not being used. You've got a lot of black folks on the street now. I'm seeing that. You got a lot of white folks. But again, programs like this, to me, gives a way to where the gatekeepers will only allow those that look like them to get access to this funding. Get access to this funding. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to wrap up this show.